Hi guys, this is Phil. So if you're a fan of the original Fallout 1 and 2, you'll probably want to check out this game called Atom, RPG, which I think stands for role-playing game. Um, it's kind of on sale at the moment on GOG for I think 10% off, which is not a great discount. But if you're on the fence, you might want to drop in. It's actually kind of cheap to begin with. It's normally $15, but I think the sale is for maybe a dollar or two off, which I was willing to pull the trigger when it was on that sale. So yeah, I'm actually loading it for the first time, and we're seeing the video, the video that starts the game for the first time, and so it looks like Ronald Reagan's in it, so it kind of takes place in that time period or that era, and what makes this very similar to Fallout is that it looks like it's post nuclear Fallout. So there's you have to deal with the radiation and radiation sickness and that kind of thing. And I played a bit of the game that I know that I have been exposed to radiation, but it's not obvious if it's affecting my character or not. It probably is, but once again, I'm so early in the game that I don't really know all the ins and outs of the game. So if you like kind of character-driven game like Fallout 1 and 2, you'll probably want to check out this game. So anyway, we're at the title screen right now, and as you can see, it's available in ultra wide screen, which is amazing. I think most modern games, or games that's made anytime past 2018, really needs to support this format. I think it's if for anybody who uses the computer and wants to monitor but don't want to see that horrible bezel in the middle. Ultra wide actually makes a lot of sense to those users, including myself, because I love the extra video for just video editing and that kind of stuff. Anyway, we're at the character creation screen right now, and this is actually probably my favorite part of the game, where I'll spend hours and hours just trying to build my perfect character. And what I like to play is a kind of like a sniper. So I'll try to change my stats to reflect, to maximize my damage and stuff. And as you can see, anytime you change one of these character point, and which is very similar to the special in Fallout, but obviously for copyright reason they've changed it to, I guess, the Atom version, which is basically essentially the very same thing, except perception looks like it's been changed to attention. And what else? They probably left out some stuff that is probably not necessary. Let's see, we got a strength, perception, endurance. What else? Luck is there. So agility, it looks like I think maybe they removed that, which is interesting. So anyway, so anytime you change that stat, your skill changes based on your thing. For example, if you lower your luck, your gambling skill is diminished, and so on and so forth. Same thing with intelligence, obviously. It's yeah. So and then anyway, you also have on the right side of the character creation screen is your I guess perks, which they've renamed it to distinction. And each one of these perks have its positive and also negative as well. So be aware. And I think if you're starting off the game, I think the best thing you probably want to do is pick Child Prodigy, which will give you like bonuses in a few areas, but there's the downside where where it takes longer for you to level up, which I don't think I mind that much. I think it's a fair trade-off, I think. And then anyway, we'll take a look at the rest of the thing. I'm looking at through the various photographs that you can see. I believe all these characters or pictures are actually I think they're all Russian. Because the game takes place in kind of like a Russian city or some kind of Russian area. Anyway, so black belt, obviously you're gonna get more of a hands-to-hand combat. So here's some of these other. So shooting gallery is probably what I'm gonna go after if it's not letting me pick it because I've actually already picked two. It's only letting you pick two two perks. But anyway, shooting gallery is probably the one you want because it gives you plus 15 to guns, plus 5 to sequence. But your martials, which is your hand-to-hand combat, is you lose that. Which, if you start in the game, you don't really have any weapons, so that's going to be really hard to get through that first part before you can get guns. So anyway, we're gonna change the picture, and then we're gonna change the name. So that's kind of nice. You can change the name. And anyway, so shooting gallery is probably what I'm gonna end up using because if you're going for a sniper, and then the curse sniper, which is you get some bonuses, but then you lose out your luck, and then I think they slow down your shots. So maybe shooting gallery and curse sniper might be a good combination for those strictly interested in a long range sniper. Like I said, early in the game, you don't really have any weapons, so you're forced to do a lot of hand-to-hand combat in your first, at least first couple of cities. So keep that in mind because that's going to be a very tough hill to climb over. But I guess once you get your weapon, it's probably going to be a lot easier. The other thing that, and if you don't want that, is I think Child Prodigy is a good choice because it gives you +1 to intelligence and personality and attention, but you also lose. It's much harder for you to level up and stuff. I think it's fair. It's a fair trade-off. Anyway, so yeah, you can basically. So right now, all the colors in red, as you can see, are negative effects on your perks. So if you choose shooting gallery, for example, your martial skills have diminished a little bit, and then basically, I might actually just go back and start a fresh new character because. I think part of how my play strategy is I'll play it the first time around and kind of discover all the things, the do's and the don'ts, and then what I'll do is go back a second play with a much with more knowledge, and I'll just basically play it that way. But yeah, so. You have 3 options when you start. You can do Action Hero, Army, or Traveler. And then you have different difficulty levels from easy, normal, to survival, to expert. I'm going to set it to normal. I think most game, unless you just want to breeze through it, I think normal is probably what you want to pick. Anyway, so yeah, you start off the game. And you do have weapons. Oh, actually, you know what? I think this is the tutorial. So anyway, you wake up and you're greeted with this basically your overseer or some kind of guide, and he's gonna kind of walk you through the tutorial. And if you've never played the game, I highly suggest you do the tutorial because it kind of tells you important things, like if you want to highlight that, you can press Alt and it'll highlight it, and various really important things that's not obvious. I've played a few of these type of games that I kind of know what to do, but it's but if it introduce a concept and keys that I'm not familiar with, playing the tutorial would actually really help understand the basic of the game. And then so there's no voiceover or anything. This is a very small game developed by a small independent company, so they're probably not going to have a lot of resources on a lot of things. But for what it is, I think they did a great job with this game, at least so far. I haven't gone that far in the game, but so far I'm very impressed of what they put together, especially if you love these type of games. So it's telling you can equip the key on your thing, and you have 1 and 2 slots, and then basically they tell you to equip the key to your slot 1, which you'll use to open the door to get out of your barrack. What else? So play the tutorial. The tutorial actually took a little longer than I wanted to spend, but like I said, this is the first time I'm playing it, so I'm just really just trying to discover everything about it. Anyway, whatever you do here, whatever you take, won't really matter when you start the game, because when you start the game, you're stripped of everything, including your guns, because when you start the game, you basically get robbed by these guys. And so you start off with just the clothes on your back, essentially. So if I replay this game again, I'm probably going to skip the tutorial, because it just seems like kind of like a waste of time, because nothing you do will carry over. And I kind of wish that wasn't the case, because some tutorial, they actually give you experience points or some kind of bonus thing, but I don't think that's the case. I think once you completed this, you're still left with nothing. So yeah, but anyway, yeah. What else? Once again, graphics is great. It plays very smoothly. I'm assuming this doesn't require like a high-end graphics card to play, though it might help. Especially loading screens and stuff. I've noticed that every time you walk into a new area, that it does take a few minutes to load up, or your new area. So that can be kind of annoying on a slower computer, or maybe a slower hard drive that takes time to access. I do have this installed on a SSD drive, so it seems pretty fast, at least from my experience with it. So anyways, it's kind of teaching me here how to pickpocket, and I'm not going to be very good at it, just because I know that I really didn't develop the character as a pickpocket, but so it's probably not going to work out too well for me if I pickpocket him. But it's okay, it's forgiven, because this is a tutorial area that it really doesn't really matter. It's just where you can try out skills and stuff like that. So I'm going to try pickpocket him. Okay, I see his thing. I'm going to try to take that gun from him. And I got caught. So basically, but if you're playing a kind of like a thief kind of character, you probably want to put your skill points in. I don't know, like I didn't remember the other probably dexterity is probably one of them, and then various other tags and skills that you can add to it. Anyways, like yeah, I'm gonna try to I might actually restart the game again, and then just kind of have a clear direction of where I'm heading. But yeah, right now I don't really have too much information on where I'm supposed to go or what I'm supposed to do, which is fine. I'll just kind of stumble upon my my play. But yeah, if you love Fallout 1 and 2, really this is very similar to it. It's so similar that I'm kind of like afraid that if they get too popular that Bethesda may sue them because they're the current rights holder for Fallout. But yeah, nobody really makes these type of games anymore, so I'm kind of glad that there's a modern game that is probably inspired by Fallout, that they've decided to make a very similar type of game. Yeah, unfortunately, the setting is kind of Russia or Russian area, so all the characters' names and art style is all like Russian based, which is fine, but it may be a problem if they decide to do voiceover stuff, because since I feel this is this might be based or I feel like the developer might be American, that if they decide to record audios and stuff, that they'll have to either A, make it authentic and make it all Russian, or B, hire American actors to play these part, and they'll speak English in a very strange Russian accent, which might be kind of weird for the game. But I hope maybe that once they get more special funding, that they can go back and redo this game as with the new voices and stuff recorded. I would love to hear some of these characters come to life. But yeah, once again, it's a small company that I'm very impressed with what they've delivered so far. So, but anyway. Yep. So I'll talk more about it if anybody's interested. But I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that's actually probably talk about this game in more details, and kind of shows you how to play the game versus me just kind of playing the tutorial and kind of figuring out what I'm supposed to do. Anyway, hope you enjoy the video. We'll talk later.